Sup Internet, Fantastic Mr. S here again, and you're watching Rockin Reviews! I couldn't find a music video or any concert footage for this next song, but I felt it was definitely worth talking about. It's called This Is Your Life by the late great Ronnie James Dio. I'll admit, when I first heard the song on knac.com, I was indifferent to it. I mean, I love Ronnie James Dio, he's my favorite singer of all time, but when you hear Dio, you tend to think of songs like Holy Diver and Heaven and Hell and Rainbow in the Dark. The more metal stuff, not slow piano-driven ballads. But the more I listened to it, and the second time was after I heard about that tribute album of the same name, the more it grew on me. And that was also when I realized, oh my god, this is exactly what I Don't Want to Miss a Thing should have been. Hell, this is exactly what every power ballad since the 90s should have been. Yeah, except for November Rain, of course. Now, ever since I got the idea to review This Is Your Life, I've also been tempted to do a full-on comparison between it and I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. But the latter was more or less just another generic love ballad, as I stated in my last review, so there's really no point in doing so. I'm just gonna focus on This Is Your Life's merits, because believe me, it's got a ton of merits. But I will compare the two songs if I really feel the need to. But one thing's for sure, This Is Your Life is anything but generic. And unlike most power ballads these days, it's not about love or romance or any of that crap. It doesn't even bring up the subject once. Instead, it talks about being aware of the present. No, wait. It's actually about being too fixated on the future.
The world was never blind like we are.
No, that's not it. Oh wait! It's about how the world was once free of corruption, but now it's full of corruption. No, that's not it. God! I can't figure it out! It's just too difficult! But whatever it was he was talking about, it's a far more interesting topic than romance. One of the other things that intrigued me about the song was just how minimalistic it was. What am I talking about? Well, for starters, there's no symphony orchestra or any fantastical synthesizers in the sound. It's just Dio singing to a piano track, although some violin is added in there at one point. And on top of that, the song's pretty short by today's standards. It's only got 2 verses and 2 choruses, the last half of the song having pretty much the same lyrics as the first half, with a few minor differences.
Upon a time, all the world was blind like.
But you know what? I think that's all it needs, and makes the song feel much more poetic, personal. Most power ballads these days like to have a big sound, big production, and as many high notes as possible just to try to jerk some tears out of the listener. Yeah, how well do you think that normally works out?
I could stay awake just to hear you breathing. Watch you smile while you are sleeping.
Touching? And speaking of minimalism and poeticness, that's exactly how I describe the lyrics. There's not that many words to it, but each sentence is so cleverly phrased that they say so much without even needing to be mentioned. Like, for example, when Dio asks the important question,
What if the flame won't last forever?
he could have just said it as a statement, the flame won't last forever. But instead, he adds what if to the lyric and he makes it a question. That's much stronger, because it's more subtle and it makes the metaphor much deeper. Or how about the last part of the song where he says,
Look at your world, this is your life.
he doesn't settle for those stupid motivational cliches like telling us to get our acts together or to live each day like it's our last. No. He instead wants us to simply be aware of our lives. But he never specifies which aspect of our lives to look at. The listener's left to his own devices to figure that out. That is friggin' genius! I love songs that can do that! But most importantly, the song is actually, well, emotional. Every time I listen to it now, I'm always reminded of how far I've come in life, and it makes me think about what's next, mostly with fear. And Dio's performance really captures these emotions. Sure, his vocal range may have deteriorated a bit at that point, but still, he puts so much heart and soul into his singing that I could really care less.
This is your here, this is your now, let it be magical.
And that's exactly what a power ballad is supposed to do. Hit you right in the feels. And for real too, not try to use romantic corniness to manipulate you. But the sad thing about it is that the song never got the recognition it deserved. Most people aren't even familiar with it, which I guess doesn't surprise me, but what does surprise me is that it never got released as a single. Why? I think it could have easily become a hit, not just with Dio fans, but with people in general. Hell, I dare even say it could have won a Grammy. Show those young whippersnappers how it's done. But no, everyone just wants more half-assed love letter ballads. Oh well, that's the music industry for you. And hey, if the media won't convince you to check it out, hopefully this review has. Because I think it's a very well written and well performed song. It is a testament to Ronnie James Dio's status as a vocal god, and an undervalued one at that. And this vocal god, he is getting an epic win. Epic win! I'm the fantastic Mr. S, and you're watching Dangerously Rockin' Reviews!